What up, man?
I'm here for a reason to deliver a message, and I'm gonna articulate it the best way I can to you. But I am gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I am not sparing. I can't help how people feel in life, right? Anybody?
Oh Lord.
Here he
Yeah,
go.
no,
Don't worry.
explain that.
Get you a word. Nana nana boo boo.
What up, though? It's the word. You see the title. We about to get into it. But before we get into that, let me get into the chat. My bad, y'all, man. I just woke up again. Uh, Tamika, what up, sis? Bronze, what up, my brother? My brother, what up, though? Dee. Bud Files, what up, man? I hope the family good, fam. I hope the family good. Hope the family good. And we got the one and only Tates on the panel, y'all.
Hey. What's up, y'all? What up, word? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know how my mic went on mute. Man, I sat on the couch and passed out. That's how you know you're getting old when you sit down and go to sleep. Um,
You see how quick it happened? You be like, all right.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna set the live back 10 minutes. And I sat on the couch. Next thing I know, I pop up and I'm like, oh shit! I mean, it was like damn 30 minutes went by.
That's what I'm saying. That's the same thing. I was in that live last night with Gary. I'm like, yeah, all right. Shoot. I know you went live right after him. So it wasn't number what? 20 minutes maybe?
Yeah, cause I seen, cause I was on the panel uh when he said you came in, and I think I came on the panel at like 12:10, so like you said, about 20 minutes before.
Yeah. Not passed out. I woke up. When got when went on YouTube, you had just ended it like 23 minutes ago. I'm like, damn.
Commander, what up, nine? What up, sis?
Hey, Commander. Hey, Dee. What up, Bronze? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm highlighting. Hey,
Oh, you good?
Tamika.
You can highlight him.
I'm doing that shit by accident.
Mhm.
But yeah, I hated it too, because I'm like, dang, I want to talk about that numerology. Y'all know me.
So that's why we did a part two, and it's really good. We got we got the playful stuff out the way. Now we can get the information in, because, like I said, I just looked something up. But like I was saying yesterday, we have our numbers woman on here, our master of a number Tay each. So she gonna tell us about the nine, because just talking to you earlier, I'm like, hold on, bro, I ain't know all that. So it was interesting, but you got the flow, sis. Let them know about that nine.
Yeah, don't call me no master or anything like that. That's crazy, okay?
Master of numbers.
No,
Tage,
that's
y'all.
crazy.
The Tage, y'all. I'm speaking into existence. Stop playing with me.
Bet, even speaking into existence. I'm cool with that. So you know what? I noticed, and I don't know, this is how I know that like you connected, right? You connected spiritually because I don't think you know this, but I noticed that on your um pic, on your thumbnail, you got the nine and then you have gold. It's like yellow. It's like white in there. And I think it might be a little red too, right?
I think so. Let me look. I can't.
At your at your
I
thumbnail. This is how I know you like connected. But you know that those are the colors of the nine.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Yeah, it got the background itself. And you know what? I was scrolling through. I didn't know. Like I just go off of what I feel. That's crazy. And for some reason, that right there, I just felt it.
Hmm.
Yeah, it got red and it gold, black, white, and red. Yep, that's
Those are the colors
crazy.
of the nine. So y'all, he didn't even know what he was doing, but those are the colors of the nine. So we are in the year 2025. If you add the two and the five, this is a 9 year, right? The last time it was a 9 year was 2016. So if anybody can think back to 2016, what it was like, I don't know if y'all can think that far back, but I would take time out to journal and just look at your life in 2016 and then look at it from now in 2025 and just document because I think where you told them what nine is completion,
Mm-hmm.
nine is rebirth. It's like a new paradigm. So um for this year, for a lot of people, you're going to be completing, but it's going to be something new for you as well. You're going to be doing something new. Also, I noticed it's a lot of people, like a lot of people that will be removed from your life. I don't know if you noticed, but I see like a lot of breakups, like, certain people that was there, not there anymore.
You know what, man? I'm stuck on what you just said about 2016. That was a life changing year for me. I did a lot of big things in 2016. The more you talking, it was like it was people close to me hating on me, but um, that's when I got into real estate and start. I got into it 2015, but the turn of the year, that's when everything started blowing up. And with success comes hate. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but that was a great year for me. That set me up and set my family up, and helped me get to the point where I was able, to marry my wife. So, man, I'm sitting there. I'm like, hold on, man. We go relive that. Let's go. I'm ready for that. I mean, it was like you said. I shared it some, but it was necessary. Like I had some people in my life that I really seen what they was there for, and they wasn't there to benefit me. So um,
So they was a lot of people was removed then.
yeah, yeah. That's when I became bougie, I guess. But it's like it's not. I'm bougie. I just care about myself more. I care about myself enough to not allow people who don't have my benefit or my best interests in mind around me. So it's like I'm trying to do something positive, and y'all still doing you know ignorant stuff. So no, I'm straight. But then I changed up, right? Face on signs and stuff in people's yards, so now I think I'm the
Mhm. I think for me in 2016, if I'm not mistaken, I moved. So it was a move for me. It was me starting over new. It was like a rebirth. I had left my hometown where I was from and moved. So I think it was a new journey for me. So yeah, think about the 9 year, think about 2016. what you were doing, what happened for you, because that was what 9 years ago. So the number nine. So I had told Word that nine is associated with Mars. So I don't know if you guys know that Mars, the planet, and Mars is red. It's known to be red, but Mars is known to be aggressive, assertive. Um, it's a planet of wars and things like that. So that's why at the beginning of the year already you see terror, terrorism, like terroristic things going on, like that stuff that happened in New Orleans and in Louisiana. You know, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I was like when you said that too. That was the first thing. Jason, what up, though? Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Um, when you said that, I'm like, dang, beginning of the year, them terrorist attacks and people already, because of the new president coming in, um,
Mm-hmm.
people are already up in arms. But even like when you said wars too, I thought about like even internal battles, right? Things you may be struggling with, um, because like when you were saying starting new cycles and stuff like that, um, like just having internal battles with yourself, knowing that you need to change, but seeing the things that you got to cut out, you may struggle. That's a war in itself. Um, so yeah, when you said that, that resonated with me. I'm looking like, man, like I didn't even know, but it was presented, you know, on day one. Um, seeing the terrorist attack and seeing what the potential of you know one of the biggest wars to be in my lifetime is on the horizon. So yeah, definitely. Like I was like, dang.
Crazy. So it already like popped off, but nine is it's humanitarian. Okay. Nine is humanitarian as well. So we're gonna see a shift in people caring for one another more now. This is the time to help one another, to do community work. You might whatever it is that you're you are like it's something that y- you're special about or something that you love, you have just something it's something that you care about, you'll see a shift in that. Whether it's for you, Word, I know it's young kids and stuff like that, helping them. So that might grow for you. For others it could be young girls, it could be helping the community, but in some way you're going to see um humanitarian work. Even now, in a way, you see it like the big corporations that kind of just used to taking over the little people. Now you're going to see us come together and and speak up. No more of these big corporations like taking over and just controlling. You'll see us speaking up more about it. And whether you got whoever, whether you like the president or not, you kind of seen it already. He damn near flipped the whole 50 states red.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? He flipped the whole 50 states red. And it just goes to show that people are just tired of these big corporations taking over, controlling all of the money, just doing whatever they want to do. And now you're going to see the people speak up. It's no more of them doing whatever they want to do, trafficking this money and doing all this crazy stuff. You're going to see the people start speaking up more.
And it's crazy you said that because my brother, my 33 brother, what up though, Gary? Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
What's up, Gary?
It's funny you said that because my best friend, he's a school teacher, and he hit me up was like, "I got this guy I want you to mentor." And when he said it, I'm thinking like, okay, one of his kids, and I'm like, all right, I do that for free, no problem. But I'm talking to the young man, and I'm like, dang, uh, and then I'm like, how old is he? He was like 18. I'm like, hold on, bro, that's an adult, man. I get paid for that. So I called my pops and seeing if there's a way that the nonprofit organization can sponsor him, and then that way I can work with him. So we worked all that out. So I'm like, just find a way to make it happen. He's 18, so he's still a young man, and he actually looking for guidance, and he want to do the social media thing. I'm like, bro, I'm not popping or nothing at it, but I can give you all the information. I can introduce you to people. I can give you some guidance, but ultimately, he just looking for um, an avenue or a lane, trying to find himself. So I'm like, okay, that's coaching. So me personally, man, anybody looking for guidance, I just think I'd be an a-hole to turn them down. No matter how old them is, no matter how old they are, especially um, someone looking for it, because it's not too often where young people think they know everything, right? I know I did when I was young. I thought I knew everything. So when somebody actually looking for guidance, it's like, you know what? Um, who am I not to be there, because it was a lot of people there for me, when I was looking. So, and like just like you said, I'm about to. Well, I don't know if I told you on the back end, but I'm about to get into the schools too, and talk to like at risk youth. So, it's crazy you said that, because all that was in the making in the beginning of last year, but I'm seeing it. I was supposed to be doing it at the beginning of last year, but things fell through. But now it's like becoming reality this year. So that's just crazy. I wanted to start it last year, but like I said, it didn't work out. But now it's reality this year. So yeah, that's crazy.
Hmm. Yeah, so your humanitarian work gonna pop off more. It's more of, last year was materialistic, and the years before that was materialistic, and maybe greed or whatever. But in this time in 2025, that is gonna be looked at as negative.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be more of, people are not gonna be connected to material things like that. You know, nine is, again, like I say, it's humanitarian. Nine is a lot of humanitarian. It's it it's not about the money, you know. It's more about the people, caring for the community, making sure everyone is good and things like that.
So it's more about like giving than receiving.
Exactly.
Uh, yeah, that's and I was telling them like it's important to understand what the frequencies, what these numbers have to offer, because that's what you can tap into, that frequency and ride it. Like like last year, like you said, materialism. I wasn't tapped into it because I probably would have got a new house last year if I really like I probably would have been on some but this is more my wave right here, this number right here, because I'm a big giver. And last year I tried to give, and it was kind of like threw back in my face, but this year I think it'll be more, accepted by people.
Definitely. And then you gotta think about it. 369.
Mm-hmm.
Mind, body, spirit, and completion.
Mm. I was just running Commander through the 369 method yesterday. That's crazy how like you tapping in or tapping into a lot of stuff. Um, Either I was thinking or that I was saying. Um, But it's just the frequency, man. We be vibing.
Mhm. Nine is in 369. It's the last one. It's completion, right?
Hmm.
But with completion, now it comes a rebirth because when you, after it's done, you completed it. Now it's your reborn. Now it's like you're reborn. It's like you're a new baby starting over, right? So, um, nine is also a connection to her hermetic rhythm of principle.
Mm.
It's also connected to that as well. That fits the 33 aspect. What did he say? But don't allow it to be abused. Humanitarian can be human. Don't allow the kindness to exactly. Yeah, I agree.
We was talking about that too. That's one of my biggest weaknesses. That's one of my biggest weaknesses. Uh, so yeah, I just have to be aware, but I have to allow the people around me too, to do what they do, and trust in them too. So uh, life is just a learning process. When you think you got it all, that's when you figure out you don't know shit. Excuse my French, but
You
when
don't.
you think you got it, that's when you realize, like, and these last 2 years, even on here, man, I know I came a long way, and I always say, like, adversity gives you the opportunity to see how far you came and how far you got to go. And just being on here these last 2 years, I've learned so much more. And I'm just down for the ride and down to learn. You know, um, because life is the best teacher is life. And the experiences it has to offer. That's the best teacher you'll ever receive. You just have to be open to the messages and the lessons that life has to offer. You know,
Hmm.
um, so it is never. Learning is never done, or gaining all the wisdom that is impossible. So each day you get the opportunity to breathe. You also get the opportunity to learn. So just sticking with that understanding, um, and trusting in the people that that's around me. I'm still learning. You know,
Hmm.
Miss
Cause I
Chicago.
hey Miss Chicago. Yeah, if it's I feel like what you said is so true. Like being open and listening, and it's one thing for sure that I noticed, and this is just, one of the things I noticed for myself is like um documenting what it is that you want, writing it down. And I say this all the time, but not only writing it down, but then actually doing it.
Hmm.
Because just because you write it down, it don't mean anything. I said this in one of my videos. I don't think I posted it yet, but I said this in one of my videos is that like I'm looking at this vision board right here in my room, but did I put in the work to really do anything on this vision board? No, I really didn't. But part of that was I had something tragic that happened in my life this year, and that kind of halted, that kind of stopped a lot of stuff of what I was supposed to be doing for 2025. But it just goes to show that if you don't take the necessary steps to do certain things, it's not gonna manifest.
Hmm.
I mean, it might, you might get lucky, but majority of the time you have to do the work. You have to
Hmm.
do the hard work, the work that nobody wants. You know what I mean? That you have to do it. Otherwise, it's like it's just gonna be another year that passed where you didn't do anything, and another year, and it's like you get older and older, and you are not getting to your goals whatsoever. And I noticed that a lot with me is that, like, time just goes by. Time goes by. I let time fly by. And it's like before you know it, man, 10 years and passed by. And you had all of this time where you could have done so many things. So I just say don't be that person. And I'm guilty of it.
And at times, I think we all are, and I think that's dope though. I switched from vision boards to strategy boards, right? And the reason I did that is because it's like the terminology, words create perception. It gives you, um, and but so since I switched, what I found out is like when I put a goal down on my strategy board now, I was gonna do a presentation about the difference between a vision board and a strategy board because when I put goals down now, I start connecting different things that help me get to the goals versus just having a vision board up there looking at it and you know but that could be motivation to some people too. They look at it, okay, let me go towards this. But with me, it's like finding ways to get to my goal. So I may write something down that I'm trying to get to, and then I'm like, okay, well, I can do this to get to it. I can do that. And as I go or as I try it, I can start crossing out what works and circling crossing out what don't work and circling what do work. And it's just more motivation for me to get to it. But like you said, activity, just saying strategy versus vision. Strategy, I start strategizing. It is more work. Vision is just more of you like looking. So um, for me, words have meanings, and the concept of the word itself um, creates a perception of what you should be doing with it, or how you go about it.
Hmm.
Mind
Yeah.
mapping, yeah.
I like the I do my mapping and summation vision on another level. Yep, facts. I like that strategy because you have a vision. It doesn't Okay, you can have a vision, but now how are you going to strategize to get to where you want to be? And that could be the hard part for people.
Hmm.
That's the discouraging part, because if you don't know how to map this thing out and how to strategize and get to it, then you're not going to get to your goal, and you're going to want to quit and give up
And I was about
immediately.
and I was about to say that the main thing it helped me with is overcoming failure. Because when you strategize, and like I said, you seeing what works and don't work, that's just the mindset. So if I did something that didn't work, I didn't look at it like I failed. I just, okay, let's try something different. It was the mindset it created, a strategy board. So like if you play like sports or did anything where you had levels, right? You'll notice like you would try something, like even playing a video game, right? You may go one direction and okay, there's a pitfall there. Okay, now I went that way. I know that don't work. So now that's all it is. It's just like I'm gonna just try again. Instead of a lot of times when people run into adversity or have a failure, they feel defeated. But with the strategy board, like I said, I just simply cross out, okay, tried that didn't work. Let's try something new. It was just the mindset it helped me create or helped me build. And I've been using the strategy board for the crazy thing is probably since 2015, you know, uh, 2015 going into 2016. It was just something that, I had a vision board at first and I'm looking like, nah, man, it got to be something better, and I'm like, um, and I played Risk as a kid. You ever played a game Risk?
No.
It's it's like a war monopoly game where you go around. You start off as a country and you go around collecting other countries. So it's a strategy game. So like I always like those little strategy games, but you got to strategize because one wrong move you can lose your country. So that's how I kind of looked at it. And like I said, it helped me create a mindset of, okay, this may not work, but um, I don't need to do nothing but reload and try something new. But also, you don't want to take risks that you can't recover from, you know, because sometimes we go all out, and that's not a good option because uh, we putting everything or jeopardizing everything behind something that we don't know if it's going to truly work out or not. So it was just being smarter, more effective, and efficient. You know, that's when I came up with the strategy board. Miss Riders, what up, though? Rachel, I said Miss Riders. Y'all know I'm
I
still
like
sleepy.
that.
Don't mind me.
Hey, writers.
Hey, rock out for 1 second. Let me go grab something.
Of course, of course. So for the ones that's just coming in, we talking about 2025 and what it represents and all of that. And of course, 2025 equals to 9. So this is the oh my bad, y'all. So this is the 9 year. Okay, 9 year. And hey, this is just a little something to let y'all know. Do y'all know Jesus died on the ninth hour? He died on the ninth hour, and this is the ninth year. So I think that's a very interesting um, fact or whatever. And also with nines tend to want to root for the underdog. So you're gonna see people fighting for the underdog this year, you know, rooting for the small people. It's not, again, like I say, it's not gonna be about the big corporations and things like that anymore. It's gonna be about the underdog. It's gonna be about the little man, you know, the ma and pa's, you know. So people are going to be supporting them now and not the really big. I mean, of course, people will be, dealing with the big corporations, but 9 is a spiritual number. Okay. If you think about it, right? 9 is the last single number, right? Because after 9, then it's 10 and it's 11 and it's 12. Then 9 is next to the spiritual numbers. Well, you would call them uh God, what would you call 11 and 30, like 33? Oh, is word on here? I can't even think of it now. What is it? What is it? What is it? Anyways, these number like 11, 10, 11, 12. These numbers are a little bit, yes, master numbers. That's what it is, Gary. I couldn't even think. Yes, those are master numbers. So 9 is next to a master number, right? So it's like 9 is getting geared up for that master life. So with nines, not these people are typically like leaders. They are like very knowledgeable. They have a lot of wisdom, you know. They can lead. So a 9 is gearing up for that master number. So you're gonna see this year it's gonna be more about spirituality. And also these companies, a lot of these companies are gonna be more into spirituality. If a company doesn't have some type of soul, some spiritual energy with it, it's probably going to be hard for them to progress. So yeah, um hey Liz, what up? For those of you that know the ninth house, if you know about astrology, right? The ninth house in astrology is spirituality. It's divine. It's God. It's travel. So again, like I say, you're gonna see spirituality. Things it's gonna be like a shift. It's gonna be a complete shift. It's totally different from last year, which I'm excited for. Were you good? You
Yep.
down at the bottom.
Yeah. I didn't. When I started, I didn't take my dog out or nothing. I fell asleep before I ain't get, so I'm gonna just run her outside. And I left my earphones, so I'm on my T-move right now. Is this even working? Can you hear
You on the Timu headset. Y'all excuse him.
me? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Liz B, what up, sis? What up, sis? Appreciate. Yeah, but yeah, I think it's gonna be a great year. I think every year gonna be great. It's what you put into it. But having this information, like I said, I think you can tap into your frequency because everything. I mean, no matter what you believe in, you don't have to believe in it. It's the stuff that people in the world use. But I was telling them how like some artists don't even drop songs, and they only drop songs on specific days that resonate with either their life path number or a number that they looking to tap into the frequency of. Like that's just what successful people do. Like even I was just looking at an article. What is Buffett? Buffett is really into numerology. So I mean, you can look at it the way you want to, but it's successful people utilizing and tapping into these frequencies and getting
Hmm.
benefits from it. So, I mean, our people always left behind on stuff, man. So, no, I'm tapping in definitely, and it's just having the information. Do what you will with it, but I'm using it. So I appreciate that. So, I mean, this you, like I said, man, I can't thank you enough because it was so many questions about self I had. When you explained the 33, it just made sense because I never understood why I was so forgiving. Like just the experiences in life. I'm like, man, why am I going out my way to forgive people, man? That wrong, like super wrong, putting knives in my chest and shit, taking my iPad and I'm at peace with it. And it was just weird. And it's like, that's just who you are, bro. That's just who you are.
Hmm. Gary say shout out to Timu.
Shout out to pettiness. Man, my pettiness rubbed off on everybody. Shout out to Dead Petty. I
Shout
mean Gary.
out.
I didn't say pettiness. My bad. I meant to say Gary.
Yeah, but I think like you say it's gonna be a good year, but I do want people to understand this is just a tool. Numerology is just a tool. It doesn't define who you are and things like that. I
Mhm.
think people get confused when they look at this and it's like, okay, well, I'm supposed to act like this and I'm supposed to be like this. No. I think me and you we've had this discussion before, like when I've talked to you about being a 33 or being a tourist or something like that. I've told you, like, at any point, you can switch up and not act like a 33, so to speak, you know? Or, because people, the good thing is everybody has free will. You can
Mhm.
decide to do whatever it is that you want to do. And also people go through life and changes. Like, if you are a person that are known like say a Taurus is known to be stubborn. Okay, and maybe in your younger years you were stubborn, but now that you older, you have learned to not be as stubborn.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. Like you can switch up at any time. This is not who you know what I mean?
It
Just
don't
because
define
somebody
me.
say a 33 is this, that's not necessarily like every 33. I just
And
want to make that clear.
and you know, like I can always look at it like it's information to make you aware. It may uncover something that you was questioning about yourself, and now you have clarity. Like when I was learning all about like being a tourist, I'm like, okay, I possess some of these qualities, but I don't possess a lot of them. And the ones I didn't possess, honestly, I worked on that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just potential. You know, you have the potential to be this. You have the potential to be that. Like you said, it's a tool. Like you can fall into it or you can work on it. It is like you said, free will is all about what you do. You know, but for me, especially the 33 aspect, it just gave me clarity and understanding. And with that, it gave me power. You know, I was able to understand myself and better interact with people. The more you understand yourself, the more you can better understand other people. You know, a lot of times people judge others upon their perception, you know, with their own perception or their own lens and forget like this is a totally different person, man. That's why social intelligence and emotional intelligence is so important. You know, it ain't
Mhm.
all about us, man. You know, it ain't all about me. I'm just a speck in the a speck of sand on the beach. That's all I am. That's all we all are. A speck of sand on the beach, man. There's so many different people with so many different personalities, and all that to me is potential. You know, so it's what you put into
Mhm. Agreed. Gary said, Tay, do you see people completely separating from people a lot this year? Yes. Yes. This is completion. It's a rebirth. So it's like you being born again. A lot of people will be, and I'm not saying this it's going to be for everyone, but for some people will be removed from your life, you know? It's a new shift. It's a paradigm. It's taking out the old and bringing in the new. In order to take out the old and bring in the new, you got to get rid of people.
it. Hmm.
Just like when you want to go to another level, everybody can't come with you. So you got to leave the people behind. And so yes, people will be removed from you this year. And like I was telling Word, it's going to be people that are going to be aggressive and angry and upset and want to start stuff with you. So you got to be careful with that too, because Mars is an angry planet, and Mars likes to put its aggression out on people. So
Mm.
you got to be careful of people, you know,
Projecting,
huh?
projecting that inner anger onto you.
Yes, exactly.
And you know, I'm gonna use an analogy. I don't want y'all to read too deep into the. Don't read too deep into the analogy. Just take it for what it is. But like a snake, right? A snake got to shed its skin so it can grow. So when she talking about a rebirth, you know, you got to shed some skin and make room for all the new abundance you will receive. So just like a snake shed its skin, we got to shed our skin, have that rebirth so we can become a better version of ourselves. You know, but when you say snake nowadays, people think, you know, the worst, but it's one of the most majestic animals on this planet.
Mhm. Miss Chicago, I wonder what day you were born. Were you born on the 13th?
Man, I want to get in Chicago on the panel one day. I heard her spitting game, and I'm like, oh, we need that. You know, we like that in Chicago. We like when people come on and just, you know, tell their life experiences. But one of the best, like I was introducing new terms. Big Mix in the building. What up, bro? I hope
Hey,
your New
Big
Year was
Mix.
good, man. Yeah, I've been down for a minute. I ain't even. Yeah, I've been down for a minute, bro. I'm gonna hit you up probably tomorrow.
Yeah, she was born on the 13th.
You just guessed that? I'm telling you.
No, she
So,
put that on there. Well, I only guessed it because she said her favorite numbers were 1333. And then the 1033, she said them were her top favorite numbers. So I was like, she must be born on the 13th or something. She born on the 13th. She's a builder. She don't fool with too many people though. Fours don't fool with people like that. They got their close knit friends, and that's about it. She don't like change. She kind of like everything a certain way. Like if she come home from work, she do this, this, this. She got everything planned out. If stuff goes different, it's kind of like, they don't really like surprises. They don't. They have their order about certain things. Yeah,
And
they got
big,
their order about certain things. What's up?
she said you at ESPN or something. Miss Chicago, I'm telling you, man, sis, when she leaned into herself, bro, it is beautiful, man. Her discern, everybody use the term discernment, but I enjoy uh I enjoy having conversations with Tay, especially when she leaned into herself because her discernment is on fleek. I always tell her that. Man, I told her earlier, and I think I told Gary, I'm about to start calling Tay Miss Cleo because man, when she owns, she owns. I'm gonna just say that when she say something, it usually comes into fruition. But sis tapped in, definitely tapped in. Big Mick says, is numerology more spiritual or objective? Uh,
What they say? Is it more objective?
I would ask first, how are you? What's the context of the way you use an objective? Because I wouldn't correlate it to a more being objective. I would lean more towards spiritual, but it has duality within it. You can be on one side of the number or on the other side. A lot of times we speak when we talk about numerology, we speak about more of the positive side, but it has a negative side too. So
It
that
does.
that in itself, duality can be objective. So some social connections instead of one person at a time. I will try to clarify the question if it doesn't make sense. Um, he said, are numerology numbers applicable or to social connections instead of one person at a time? Um, so
I
basically,
think
what
it's
it
both.
is,
What do you mean by one person at a time? But I think what he's trying to say is, does it just apply to one person, or could it be connected to social connections as well? Is that what you're trying to say?
yeah, I think the numbers themselves, certain numbers resonate with the other numbers more. So, um, and some numbers,
Numerology don't care who the person is. It's all about the energy. Were you born on that energy? It's not about who you are. Does your name add up to that energy, to that
mm,
number? Because you're gonna resonate. It's gonna be a frequency. Now, every characteristic that I spill out, you might not. It might not be for you, but eh, I'm not gonna say every single. But it's gonna be some that you're gonna resonate on. On that number, whether you're a 6, a 9, or whatever it is. You know, it's kind of hard to get away from that. I'm gonna be honest, like astrology, I feel like with astrology, you can kind of change yourself and not really be that person of like a Taurus, a Virgo, whatever. You can kind of change yourself, But to me, what I've learned so far and what I see is it's kind of hard for you to astray from that number. If you are a nine, there are going to be some characteristics of a nine that you have, like it's just inevitable to stray from that, you know. So that's what I see. I see, like, as a for like example, a Taurus or whatever. But even in astrology, there's just certain things that, like, for example, I'm a Cancer. We're emotional beings, right? It's rare that you're gonna walk up see a Cancer that's not emotional. Now, they may not show it at certain times, but it's kind of hard. But it can happen. I'm not saying, it can't happen. It can happen. You know, they can be a hard ass if they want to.
And then too, I think is a person's personal life experience too, because uh, even like imagine like I could have went any direction, even with my with me being a Taurus or my life path with my personal experience. It could have put me on the opposite side. Everything has duality within. So, I could have, turned out any type of way, but, um, it's just how you take in the experiences of life. These are only potentials and characteristics. You still determine who you are. That's what when we talk about free will. You definitely have free will to define yourself or to recreate yourself. So,
Mhm.
I don't think, and like you said, it's tools just to be aware and being able to understand so you can tap into these different frequencies. But you shouldn't govern yourself by solely, just what
Right.
what a number is or what astrology is. You also have the power to define or redefine yourself.
Exactly. It's I look at it as a tool to, because, believe it or not, a lot of people don't know who they are.
Right.
And I feel like it's a tool to kind of help you kind of be like, oh, okay, this is why I'm like this. So for the people who want to understand, like, why am I like this? Why I'm wired like this? I feel like that's what it can help you for, help you to understand certain things. It brings light to certain things that maybe you don't understand or you haven't grasped yet. That's all it is. But it's not something to be like, oh, well, I'm a nine and nines are supposed to act like this. So I'm supposed to put myself in this box and be like this. No, don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that. Don't put yourself in a box because cancers are supposed to act like this or Taurus is supposed to act like this. No, that's crazy. I really feel like, and I've heard somebody say, well, God is, and where you tell me what you think about this. Like, God is supposed to tell you who you are and stuff like that. And for me, I feel like God can help or guide me, but I feel like honestly, it's up to me on who I want to be and what I want. What is the desire of me? Like, what's inside of me? What's burning inside? So I feel like in order to do that, you have to look within you. And that takes meditation, quietness, really understanding and studying you.
Separation from every outside influence to understand what was really resonating with you, because a lot of times we put ourselves around things and it has a big influence and impact on us and we don't realize that's not even us, that's the things around it. And I spoke on this before. God is within you. So going inside you, that's how you develop a relationship with God. Honestly, it's not outside you. You can go to a book, but ultimately, just and this is it's hard to understand, but a book is just someone else's perception. That gives you awareness. It just tells you what's possible, but you still have to do the work. So to develop a relationship with God, you have to go within. The Bible even says God is within man. So the kingdom of God is within man. He is mightier in me than outside of me. So um, people seek God outside themselves, and seeking God outside yourself, you just go get someone else's interpretation or experience of God. That's all it is. I mean, that's other people's perception or interactions with God. For you to truly define or understand what God is, you have to go within. And because God go be different things to different people. That's just the reality of it. We can you can try to fight that, but even in the Bible, God had different interactions with different people in the Bible. All the people in the Bible didn't have the same. Who else had an experience with God like Job in the Bible? Nobody. Who else had an experience with God like Enoch or Moses or even Noah? Everyone had their own individual experience with God, and that's because God is something different to everyone. So leaning on my description or interpretation of God, it's not going to be the same for you. We all sent here to do different things. So God put different things within us. So looking to God outside yourself to define who you are, you only go get someone else's interpretation. To actually have that divine connection with the creator, you have to go within, because God sent us all here to do different things. So what God sent me here to do didn't send you to here to do it. Sent you so you equipped with different um, skills, different understanding than I am. We complement each other, but we ain't the same. None of us are. So
Facts. Hey, righteous.
righteous, what up, sis?
Born on the ninth, huh? Oh, that's gonna be a good year. 9 year, born on the ninth. Humanitarian. Righteous is a humanitarian first. So, but yeah, um, I'm with that. I'm with that. I'm with that. Very spiritual. 9 is a spiritual number.
And yeah, so but yeah, that was dope. That was definitely fly because I don't
But
I don't even like using the term, God. That's why I always use creator because uh but for communication purposes, we use that term, but it's much like the creator is much bigger than what an anthropomorphism word has developed. So um yeah, but everybody got their own path, so I ain't gonna knock nobody's.
yeah, I'm not here to knock anybody and what they got going on. But I'm just be honest. I was a Christian at one point, but did I know myself when I was a Christian? No. So I'm just saying it's good to love God and all of that, but you got to find out who you are too.
Hmm.
You got to find out what really thrives you, what makes you tick, what you love to do. What is your purpose? Why are you here? It's not you just, you know, celebrating God and just, what God is going to tell me. No, you have to literally search and find out who you are. And when you go on this search, it's a journey because I'm telling you, it's gonna be all of this things being brought up. What your mama called you, your daddy called you, your friends, who you think you were, that you not. You know, it's a it man, it's work. It's work. And I understand why people don't want to be spiritual. Because it's work.
Yeah, it's a hell of a whole. Sis
It
was
ain't
in.
just going to church and and reading the Bible a little bit. No, it's work. It's you digging deep. It's you maybe crying because it's maybe you crying because the person who you thought you were, you weren't. What everybody's
Mhm.
been saying that you was, you are not. And now you have to confront yourself with that. And now you have to cut ties with people. Like it's a lot that goes into it. I'm telling you, it's a lot. Cause now
Yes,
you gotta let go
I
of
think you
people that
better
you
let
don't
it
want to let
go.
go of.
Hmm. Shedding that skin. Yeah, shed that skin. Right just said, do you think we living in the apocalypse right now? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Um, man, if you experience my life, I didn't live through the apocalypse probably twice already. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Like just things that transpired in my life. I think, I'm not gonna use the term perception, but I think it's how you interpret it. But I think everyone has their own personal apocalypse. Like we looking for a worldwide ending of the world, but if you think about it, it's people world who ended. Like think about the people in Gaza when the bombs dropped. Can you imagine that? That was like the apocalypse. Like the sky was literally falling on them. People who got sucked up in tsunamis. That was like a flood, right? They went through that flood. So, like the stories in the Bibles, like I said, the people who told the stories, that was their own personal experience, and we seen that happens different times. The Red Sea done turned red a couple times in my lifetime. There was an outbreak of lotus. So I seen the plagues in my lifetime. A couple times. What is it? Every 7 years, I can't remember, but is every I think 7 to 8 years is the abundance amount of locusts that go, especially in Egypt, like over in Africa.
Oh yeah.
The lotus come. It's every couple years. They did it here in America twice. It was an outbreak of lotuses. So like, and then like even think about, well, I don't know, like it was different. Like,
Hey
I'm
Selena.
what up though, who's Selena? What up though, Selena? Like in Detroit, it was a time where, man, I was walking around with a bulletproof vest. It was just chaos. People was just offing people, left and right for no reason. It was so much, violence in the city, and you'll see a person one day, the next day they gone, and it was like that was like a personal hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, but like a worldwide ending. Um, I'm gonna say this. If it is, it ain't nothing I can really do about it. But you know, raise my frequency so when it's my time, I can get up out of here and don't come back. I'm straight. I ain't doing this again. I'm good.
I don't think this is. I mean, it like words say. It just depends on what you mean by apocalypse or whatever. But me personally, if you look at nine, nine is completion. So if you want to consider that the end or apocalypse,
Hmm.
then you can. But nine is also associated with rebirth. So yeah, this might be the ending of something, but it's also a rebirth
And did
of
you
a new
see?
universe.
You see what she put after that? She said, "I look at it as a changing of guard, a reckoning of global shift," and that's basically what you just said, and that's definitely occurring. We seen that when Gaddafi died and when Saddam died. It was definitely a global shift. I don't know if y'all understand what BRICS is, but um, if they were still here, we would have been into the BRIC system by now. But I mean, that's inevitable. That's gonna come. So, um, yes, definitely. I definitely think It's gonna be a change in the guard. Uh, like, man, I'm not even gonna get into that as far as what China doing, but um, yeah, we definitely gonna see a big swing. Even Trump, getting back in office. Who would have ever thought we would have had a felon in the White House? Um, just like everything that we were accustomed to, it changed. We didn't have a president with multiple baby mamas, felonies in the White House, but now we do. And just the way we perceive life now, um, what becomes our normal, you know. Um, and definitely, I'm not gonna say we needed it, but it's definitely needed, uh, because what's going on now, it ain't working, So we need to shake things up. That's why I don't mind it. I didn't have a dog in a fight, but I definitely knew we needed something different. Because the way we going, it's not working. So
Hmm. Happy New Year, Selena. Apocalyptic time is occurring in each and every one of us. Who does not have balance? People are having battles within themselves.
definitely, I
Yeah.
am. What up, though, bro? I hope everything was good. I hope
What's good, I
everything.
am?
Apocalyptic times occurring in each and every one of us. Hey, that's why the Muslims have that word jihad. Every day we going through a spiritual battle within. We trying to overcome our lower selves. And that's a battle in itself. Being able to maintain control, being able to overcome our lower desires. The things that I don't want to say detriment us, but that's what it is. And one of them is our emotions. That's why I speak on emotional intelligence, and I try to make people aware because when I became aware of what emotional intelligence is, I'm like, I didn't know this was a thing. And I just thought, like, if I had this when I was younger, how far along I'd be now. But then I heard Jay-Z say it, like, and I think I got a short on my um, short list when Jay-Z was like, the one thing that's lacking in young black youth is emotional intelligence. And he said if he had that at a young age, he wouldn't have got into a lot of the situations he got into. It's just self mastery, being able to control oneself, because our emotions can make us capricious. It'll make us um, do things in the current space of time. And then later on, we'd think like, damn, I could have did this, I could have did that. So having that control, it just helped me make better decisions, especially being a young black man from the inner city. If I did a lot of things by the grace of the creator, I didn't get caught up in, but now I got a kid, so my goal with this mentorship is to teach these young men emotional intelligence. And to do so, you have to make them aware of it first. We don't truly get told what our emotions are. There's just something that's not taught in school. But like when we talk about our soul or spirit, that's what our emotions is the language of our soul. It's telling us how we feel internally, you know. So understanding our emotions, like we have to not only understand it, but we have to be the master of that, because if we don't control our emotions, other people will, through action. Um, that's why I'm real huge. I'm big on that emotional intelligence, because if you don't control your emotions, someone else will. You can be going or doing the right thing, building something special for yourself, and then somebody come in and trigger you, and then you do something, and now you locked away for 25 years. And that person who did it intentionally. I think I told that story when I stopped hustling. I got out the street. I'm working a job in a hospital, good job, got a 401k, benefits, all that stuff. And people was jealous, because I'm not doing what they doing no more. So they set me up, and I fell for it. I got into a fight, and I'm thinking like, okay, this dude in the hood, if I fight, No, he called the police on me, but it was all a setup to do that, just to make me lose what I obtained. And I fell for it because I was emotional, you know. So I had to learn not to allow other people's to control my emotion, but to master it for self, you know. And it's a process, you know. It don't happen overnight, but understanding the levels of emotional intelligence, emotional awareness, how you feel at a particular time. Um, I call it containment, but they call it regulation. You know, being able to contain that emotion, meaning not to react off of it. And then emotional expression. Well, how can I express this emotion in a way where it's beneficial and not detrimental? And it's all it all take work, you know. But the sooner you get to doing it, the better you get at it, the more fluid you get at it. So I think that's important. It's essential. Wish I knew in my 20s. Yeah,
And
new
I
lessons.
agree. Last year was a hell of a year. Hell of a year. But I think this year is going to be different because people are tired. People are tired of being taken advantage of. Like I say, 9 is humanitarian. So people going to come together.
I was just reading the comment. I ain't
What?
talking to you, Selena. She said, I need some love, and maybe that's why I'm cranky. I just, I didn't expect to see that. You a nut, man. What's the intelligent design behind emotion? Could that be AI or what we call consciousness? Consciousness is just awareness, you know, being aware. So I would say the intelligence behind emotion, you know, intelligence starts with consciousness. You have to be aware of something. You know, the first step in emotional intelligence is emotional awareness. I understand what you're saying about AI though, but uh, yeah, it is, you know, the seat of the soul. The mind is the seat of the soul. So to understand how we feel, we have to be conscious first, you know. So um, the all is mind, the universe is mental. We have lost our minds, so we won't have emotional intelligence. Hey, and if you can't think for yourself, you know, that's the thing. You know, you have to be able to think for yourself. Emotional intelligence is just not being brought to the forefront because we are taught to be mechanical, and emotions are seen as means to an end. I can rock with that. I can definitely rock with that.
Maybe for a man, but I'm just be honest. Being a cancer, I I just don't think cancers we are emotionally intelligent. Cuz if you think about a crab, literally a crab is walking around feeling for everything. That's literally what a cancer is. So we feel other people. I know me, so I'm very aware of my emotional intelligence. I might not have been as aware when I was younger. I was aware, but I didn't know what to do with that awareness. I guess if that makes sense, but I'm very aware.
You know, time, and if you think about it, like I said, the first key step is to be aware, you know, and over time you will develop different, you know, techniques to not only um, regulate but express, you know. But time is one of the best teachers that life has to offer. You know, it's just how you utilize it. Are you practicing, or are you um, letting time ride you? You know, so it is, you know, over time, the more awareness we have, the more we know how to utilize. You know, for me, it took time for me to be able to, for like, but I'm a Taurus, so you know, for me, it was just being aware of why I was the way I was. And once I became aware, it was like now I can do something about it. But if you never become aware, then you're just not gonna do nothing with it. You're just not. Your consciousness is your first preacher. When you said that, man, hard on the outside, mush on the inside. That's how my wife is, man. My
Right,
wife.
that's a Cancer.
That's how my wife is, man. Cancer is, man. My best friend is Cancer too, man. Y'all, it's a pleasure being around Cancer. You know, it is a pleasure being around Cancer. You know, I see different um, attributes in Cancer. Like you and my wife, like y'all hard on the outside, but y'all sweethearts on the inside. You know, my wife can be a tough cookie, boy. She be about that life. I be like, hold on, bro, we ain't riding out. Calm down. But she got a heart of gold, man. She'd get a shirt off her back, shoes off her feet. Just don't mess with her, you know. Or you mess with her family, boy. Them pinchers come out, them claws come out. How are the man? Um, oh man, my best friend, he had Cancer. He he almost like the opposite. You know, he real like mushy on the outside and hard on the inside. Like he hard on himself and yeah, but then it's different person. Like, cause I know a couple. I know a one male Cancer. You'd think he a damn Leo or a Taurus or something. You know, so you know, like Tay said too. You know, you it's just. I think it's just potential. You know, um, I don't
For
really
me as a woman, I would never date a Cancer man
think.
because I just don't want no emotional man. I'd rather date a fire sign or something. Not saying that all Cancer men are emotional, but they can be. Some of them can be. And I'm just not. Let me be the emotional one, okay? Let me be the emotional one, all right? I need you to be the same one. Talk me out of my emotional ways.
Commander said, I like a good crab sandwich for lunch or crab salad.
Right, they play too many games, they flip flopping. Yeah, they too much. Me as a woman, I would never date like a Cancer man. But to each his own. If that's what you like, then I say go for it.
Man, you energetic all the time, Big Mix. You was singing women panties off in church. I don't want to hear that. I'm getting sleepy. I'm not gonna be petty. We ain't gonna get a peanut butter petty time tonight. But Big Mix talking about Scorpio here.
Okay. He is Scorpio. Nine is associated with Mars too. I mean, Mars is associated with Scorpio too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I've never really got like I know people who real big into astrology. I just never really got into it. You know, when I found out I was a Taurus, I just like being the earth sign and the bull. I just like the bull, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm it's not that I'm a stubborn person, but I use it. I utilize it. You know, like in life you can either use something or you can utilize it. You know, people associate that as the same thing, but it's not. You know, when you use something, you use what it's created for. When you utilize something, you find different ways to use it. You know, so my stubbornness, like I use or utilize my stubbornness. You know, I refuse to fail. I become stubborn to failure. So I just find ways to succeed when failure is presented to me. You know, I don't accept it. You know, so um, but I don't let that be to my detriment neither. But like I said, I just think But and then, like, look, man, I don't know. My grandma was from the South. I wasn't allowed to be stubborn, and if I was, she beat it out of me. I'll be real with you. Like, so a lot of the attributes, but I always been grounded. I always been a grounded person. So when I learned that aspect about the Taurus, I linked it to that because it's beneficial. I think a lot of these, traits and stuff, or concepts of different zodiac signs, I can honestly say I embody all of them at any potential time. I can be a Cancer if I need to be, like with my kids. I can be very emotional. With my wife, I can be very emotional. I can tap into that aspect. When it comes to, like I said, different things I'm trying to accomplish, I'd be stubborn. And not concede to failure, or you know I just think is how, like you said, is a tool versus something that defines me. Only thing that defines me, I don't like boxes, so I don't put myself in no box. I utilize what's useful and beneficial. And if it's not, then, I let it go. That's just how I move. I think I have access to everything.
Hey, so I don't know if you heard me, but Jesus died on the ninth hour.
Mm-hmm. On the night, it's completion, man. Is like, when you go even 33, it's 33 books. Um, it's what? Hold on, it's 33 books with. I got to go back and look, but that number 33 is significant within the Bible. The number 7 is significant within the Bible. Um, like numbers, I mean, numbers are universal. Is a universal code. Like everybody has numbers. So yeah, my bad. I apologize, y'all. I have woke up to do this live, and I am dead sleepy again. Wife got to work early tomorrow, so I'll be up running around with the kids early.
You can cut it off.
Umbrella Academy Netflix had an interesting backstory. The main characters were all born on the same. Yeah, I like the Umbrella Academy. Yeah, that was a dope. It was kind of. You ever seen that, the Umbrella Academy? I think they just finished the last season. I think.
Yeah, I don't know that. Yeah, Selena, you got to stay away from Cancer men because you're emotional too. So, two emotional people is just not a great balance. So, I feel like this is why, okay, and where can say, let me know. But, like, okay, say, like, okay, women, have you ever been with a man that was emotional that he do stuff like women? He'll tear up your stuff, tear up your house, mess everything up and stuff like that. He just becomes really crazy and psycho. It's because there's not a balance. He has more feminine energy than anything. And I feel like when you got two feminine people, that it creates a unstable relationship.
Chaotic. You know.
It's chaotic.
That's like that. I think that's what works so well with me and my wife because, like I said, I'm grounded. Like I have emotions and stuff like that, but I'm not a person. I'm not an emotional person. Like, I can be feeling some way and you will never know unless I express it. My wife, on the other hand, she's very emotional, but we can't. But when it's time for her to, level it down by me being grounded, I can bring her down. And when it's time for me to turn my emotions up, she allowed me to do that. I have a safe space with her to be emotional. But it's not consistent. Like if I was constantly emotional, it'd probably be a problem with her. Like, hold on, that's my thing. But uh, Cause like when I get to a point like, man, she look at me like, man, calm down. That's not you, that's me. I'd be like, what? She'd be like, I'm the emotional one. You can't. I'm like, all right, man, whatever. Damn, I can't even be mad right now. Well, yeah, we bring balance to one another, So I
Right, it's
definitely
too
agree
much
with that.
water.
Yeah.
So I just feel like that's why when women get into toxic relationships, it's because you with somebody that's just too emotional. Somebody has to be the same one. Somebody has to be the level-headed one who's not so much into their emotions. So yeah.
And that I think a lot of men are overly emotional because, especially at a young age, we told not to cry, not to do this, not to do. We don't know how to express our emotions. A
Hmm.
lot of men they don't know how to express their emotions. An emotional man is fucking dangerous because we already tear shit up. So now you're emotional and you ain't thinking with a clear head. I mean, you just go tear stuff up. I mean, emotional man is very dangerous, man. Women, I mean, y'all can be vindictive and stuff like that, but an emotional man to burn down the world.
That's what I'm saying. For me, I don't want no emotional man. I'm good on that, but y'all can have at it.
I mean, it's good for a man to you know, be able to express or share emotions with a female, but not
Yeah,
being in control of it, nah, man, that's nah. I don't think that's a good thing. They're unstable. Women. I mean, anybody who not in control of their emotions is unstable. I honestly believe, and this might be a little controversial, but I believe, I don't like women who don't have control over their emotions. That's not a good thing too. And society has a built-in excuse. Well, women are emotional. Nah, man, we got to start taking accountability. We have to. It's a part of you. You need to control that. Regardless or if you're emotional or not, you still responsible for self. So, society has put a built-in excuse for women, like, oh, they're just emotional. Nah, that's not good enough, man. Because even an emotional woman, y'all can be dangerous too. You fuck around, put rat poison in somebody's coffee and take them out because you feel some type of way. So, nah, I just think we all we all have to take accountability and control self. We have to be able to control self because one capricious moment, one moment of impulse can be a lifetime of pain or detriment to someone. So, I had a friend. She thought her boyfriend was cheating on her. She poked him in his back 5 times. Come to find out, that was his damn sister. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, just ass, man. Like, stabbed the man in the back 5 times, bro. Damn. Didn't have feelings. You know what, Righteous? You ain't the only person. There's a lot of people that feel like, man don't have feelings. But we've been told from a young age, don't cry. Like, I had to catch myself telling my son that, like, what you crying for? Don't cry. And then I'm like, okay. Then I go into asking, what's wrong? Why are you crying? Okay. Well, you don't have to cry. If you talk or if you tell daddy, then we can fix it. But you don't have to cry all the time because I found myself breaking down, but I was the same way with my kid. Like, hey man, you a boy, stop crying, being a little crap. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. I have to make him aware, make him understand, make him be able to articulate what's wrong with him, why he cry, and let him know crying ain't gonna always get you what you want. So I mean, I had to catch myself because I was indoctrinated. I wasn't allowed to cry. And it's still, like I said, my wife creates a safe space for me to express emotions, but nah. And then when you bottle all those emotions in, man, that should become like a damn bomb. You get triggered and boom, you just blow up. You've been holding all this stuff in this all this time, and then one little small thing trigger you, you explode. So it's not healthy for men to not be able to express their emotion. Definitely not healthy. But yeah, it's a lot of people I know who they don't expect men to have emotions or expect men not to be emotional. But the fact is, that's a part of us. Like emotions are actually the language of our souls. It's telling us how we feel inside. So we all have it. So I try to be understanding and you can only try, but I try to be understanding and compassionate to how others feel, but I can't take away from how I feel at times. I found myself doing that, putting others' feelings or emotions above mine, and it's not beneficial to me because I don't like the feeling of regret or resentment, and oftentimes that's what I feel because I'm being um, I'm being more compassionate to people, but it's not being reciprocated. Like I'm taking their emotions into account, but then they not taking mine, and it's like it's not a cycle. It's just a give, and no, you're not receiving none, and then you feel some type of way about that. So nurture my son, but when then I wonder, am I making them soft? You know what? I don't think you are. I was raised around women the first 9 years of my life, right? And then when I moved to Michigan with my mom and stepdad, like they was trying to make me tough, but it didn't make me tough. That shit turned me to a demon. They was like, "Oh, you soft. Your grandma was doing this," but then I go back. That's how I knew what love was, man. The way my grandma nurtured me. That's how I knew what love was. And she wasn't easy on me, and she put me around other men and stuff like that. But my stepdad felt like she made me soft. Like my grandma had me in martial arts, so I was learning karate at a young age. So she put me in things, but I didn't have, I guess, that killer instinct, but I don't think as a human being you need that. Um, it's good to have, but it can be a detriment also. So I don't think. I think you nurture. The mother's job is to help, show love, and that's what my grandmother and my mother did for me. But him just being around men, it won't make him soft. He'll learn that man stuff too. But your role is to nurture. Is to show him love. How a man learns love from his mother. That's how he learned what love is. If my mother never showed me love, there was no way I can love my wife. It's unfortunate because a lot of mothers don't express that to their sons. So when they get older, they don't know how to love a woman. They don't know what it is. So no, he gonna grow into his manhood, his masculinity too. But that's your role. Like even with my daughter, it's my role to show her how a man is supposed to interact with a woman, or how a man is supposed to love a woman. She get that from me, and she watches me and my wife interact. So I don't think it's gonna make them soft. No, I don't think it's gonna make them soft. Are way more emotional because we are competitive and go to greater lengths to prove a point. Man, I would I don't really think it'd be an argument. I wouldn't say man or women are more emotional. I think it's on an individual basis, honestly. Like when you're observing, I think it's on an individual basis. I think men have potential to be more emotional than women, and then you have women who have potential to be more emotional than men. It's based on the individual. Because at times I can completely turn off my emotions. I had people say like, "Damn, you a demon, bro. You ain't got no emotions." No, they're just not warranted for you. You're just not worthy of my emotions. I had to learn that. I'm like, I know sometimes I say stuff and it sounds crazy, but everybody ain't worthy of your emotions, man. Everybody ain't worthy of your time. Everybody ain't worthy of your attention. That's just how life is. And if you give it to them, then it's theirs to do what they will. So you give somebody your emotions, your time, your attention, and they don't take care of it. Just remember you gave it to them. I had to learn like everybody ain't worthy of that. So once somebody show that they don't deserve it, I just don't give it to them. I just don't give it to them. Definitely don't give it to them. Yeah, it's that I don't like that stereotype when they say and I don't know your situation. I'm just speaking on the stereotype in general. How they say these single mothers are raising these men to be soft and stuff like that. Like, man, get that out of here. I know a lot of men who've been raised by single mothers that are more masculine than men raised by their daddies. Just because you got a daddy in the house don't mean that's a good influence. That can be a detriment at times. Like my stepfather was a horrible example. I'm just being honest. He was a fucking horrible example. Man put a knife in my chest. At a young age, he was trying to get me to pimp women. Like what if I would have listened to him? I'd have been a fucked up individual. So just because you got a man in the house, that don't mean nothing. It's just having the right pieces in place. Thankfully, my grandmother, my first 9 years, she put a lot of strong men in my life. So I learned from men too. But my nurturer was the women. Those were the women, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be the man I am now. I just wouldn't. So. I don't believe that. Like I got friends who was raised by single mothers and they wonderful, great men, who not imbalanced. That's on an individual basis again. People like to use stereotypes to personify their perception or make their ideologies correct, because they want to bash women. Is women fault that the men out here? No, man. As a grown man, once you become grown, you're responsible for yourself, no matter what happened in your past. If I relied on my past, my stepfather put a knife in my chest. My cousin sexually abused me when I was 7. Her and her friend. I'd be a fucked up individual. My mom and dad left me with my grandma up until the age of 9. There's a lot of things that I can blame. People or the adults in my past. They didn't protect me. They didn't do it. Nah, man, I'm grown now. Okay, that stuff happened. Now it's time for me to man up and make things better. Simple as that. People use crutches, use their past as a crutch or to justify their bad behavior now. No, that's BS, man. It's called accountability. Stuff happened. Okay, you learn from it and become a better version from it. That's what it is. That's just what it is. So yeah, I don't like when people use that, because just like people can show statistics of and then when you look at that, usually that's inner city. You're not equating the poverty. These single mothers raising boys getting in trouble and they out in the street. Yeah, because they trying to help feed the family. They out hustling because they in poverty. But what about the ones in the suburbs? The single mothers in the suburb doing a damn thing, raising good, young men that's not going through all this stuff. A lot of the basketball players, had single mothers. A lot of sports players had single mothers. There's 2 doctors that I used to work with. They had single mothers. They became doctors. So why ain't nobody telling these stories? Because it's a narrative. They're trying to bash black women. I'm straight. And they never talk about no other race of single mothers raising. It's other races that have the same issues black people got. It's just all narratives. Hired a military veteran, but when he came back from war, he was seen as emotionally unstable and mentally unstable all around. The things he saw were apparently, man, bro, I'll tell you this, man. I'll tell you that I think war is inhumane. You ask people to go over and eliminate other people and then come back to society and be normal. But you'll never be normal after that. That changed your life forever, man. And people, unless you experience it, you'll never understand it. You'll never understand it. But that changes you. War changes you. I mean, I don't see how you expect people to come back and assimilate into normal everyday life, but that's what they expect. That's what they expect. But let me get my butt off here. Sis, I appreciate you rocking out with me. I don't know if you fell asleep on me yet, but I'm definitely about to hit the hay. But y'all know what I always say. Care about how you feel. These are conversations to build nation. If you haven't already, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that share button, tell somebody, help me spread the word. But until next time, we out. Shout out to the 9 in the chat. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all.